I've always suspected that the heir of the wealthy family wasn't up to the task. Even though we've been married for 2 years, he hasn't made a move on me once. I complained to my sister-in-law's best friend. I think there's something wrong with your brother in that department. But that night, the heir pinned me against the door, his voice husky, as he guided my hand downward. Why don't you check for any problems, darling? Being the wife of the heir sounds glamorous, but in reality, I'm wondering if my husband's got issues in the bedroom. We've been married for 2 years and he hasn't so much as touched me. With him on a business trip, I decided to hit the bar with my sister-in-law to drink away my frustration. The bar had this electric vibe to it. My friend and I lifted our glasses, savoring the rare freedom. She was shocked. Let me get this straight, you guys haven't consummated your marriage yet? A few drinks in, I was feeling fuzzy, and sighed, I don't know what to do, your brother's got problems down there. Poor me, I'm a total meat lover. She looked serious after I said that, but before she could comment, a low voice chimed in, so this is how you take care of your sister-in-law when I'm away? My friend jumped up, startled, staring at the stunning man revealed in the dim light. Bro, what are you doing here? I tried to get up too, swaying slightly, and looked at the man facing my friend. He dared to scold my friend. I was ready to give him a piece of my mind, but the moment I saw his face, I quickly changed my mind. His looks were incredible, and somehow, he felt familiar. I stumbled toward him, adjusting my short dress as I walked in my heels. Are you here alone, handsome? You look a lot like a friend of mine named Henry. My friend, watching me get close to him, almost cried as she backed away. Bro, she hasn't had much to drink, really. The man's lips curled into a barely there smile. Not much, huh? Before I knew it, Henry had scooped me out of the bar. Still babbling in my drunken state, I said, my husband looks just as good as you, but, unfortunately, he just doesn't work in that way. Bro. My friend tried to explain, but he pressed his lips into a line, his expression hard to read. After a pause, he said, if you waste money on such nonsense, no allowance for the next 6 months. Bro, My friend wanted to continue pleading, but his icy aura pushed her back. His strong hand held my waist securely. Is this how much you drank? I hiccuped and clung to him, giggling. Not much, just half a bottle. Not just good looking, he's got an amazing build too. It's comparable to the heir of a wealthy family I know. Last time Henry took a shower, I might have peeked, and yeah, it felt the same. Hee hee. My friend sat quietly in the back seat, pretending to be invisible. I wanted to press on, but he firmly held my hand. Sit properly. Unhappy but cowed by his presence, I complied. After we got out, he gave my friend a look, and she got the message, heading straight to her room. I leaned almost my whole weight on Henry, my hand resting on his firm chest. His firm body was just too good. He led me to our room, and I stumbled along with him. Once inside, Henry threw me onto the bed. Landing with a soft bounce, I snapped back to reason for a moment, squinting at the man before me. Isn't this the handsome guy from the bar? How did he end up here? I wasn't amused. Get out, my husband's coming home. Henry stuck to his routine like a robot, same schedule every day. He let out a chuckle at my comment. I am your husband. I laughed. Not likely. No way would he come looking for me at a bar. Just as I intended to leave, he grasped my hand, placing it boldly on his solid chest. Even through the fabric, I could feel the defined muscle and heat. My heart raced, and I tried to pull away, but his grip was firm, no intention of letting go. His husky voice prompted me, why don't you check for any problems, darling? Dazed, I blinked at him. Both his appearance and voice matched Henry's. But his actions were nothing like what Henry would do. Taking a deep breath, I calmed myself down. As a married woman, some boundaries absolute. He reached out his long fingers to hook my chin, forcing me to meet his eyes. Linda, say it again, who am I? Those dark eyes felt like a bottomless abyss, pulling me in. I took a sharp breath. Henry. Once he got my confirmation, a flood of kisses rained down on me. The next morning, I woke up feeling like I'd been run over by a truck, every muscle sore and tender. I blinked my eyes open, trying to remember the fragments of last night. The spicy memories made my cheeks burn. The soreness quickly made it evident that something was off. The first person I thought of was my bestie who went out with me last night. I reached for my phone and called her. Cathy, when I woke up, I felt like something happened last night. I mean, it feels like I, got busy. But I was in my own room. Was it just a silly dream or something? How come I'm so sore? On the other end, my friend seemed a little surprised, then calmly said, I guess something really happened, not just a dream. That freaked me out. What? I'm married. Did I just accidentally cheat? Still calm, she replied, my brother came over last night. I couldn't believe my ears. I raised my voice, what did you just say? She repeated herself, and that's when it hit me. Those steamy memories from last night were real. Did Henry do that just because I said he wasn't up to it? Who's to blame here? I dragged my feet around the room, and after freshening up, I finally went downstairs. Once downstairs, I spotted that sharp, chiseled face bathed in sunlight. He was just sitting there, doing nothing, yet he had everyone entranced. The table was already set with steaming food. I froze, and he noticed me too. His gaze landed lightly on me, his lips moved, come eat. Looking at how calm he was, I suddenly felt like all my internal dramatics were pretty extra. With a bright smile, I said, okay. Sitting down to eat the steaming food, I peeked up at the handsome man across from me. None of it felt real. We've been in a marriage of convenience for 2 years, and he's never wanted to touch me. But last night, just back from a trip, one little comment and he broke his vow. Am I going too fast here? With a twitch in my lips, I cautiously asked, why'd you come back so suddenly? Even eating, he was a sight to see. Busy with work usually, but things wrapped up early this time, so thought I'd take a break. His words made me pause, then I broke out in a cold sweat. Was he sticking around because we slept together and he's trying to figure out a way to end this arrangement? After breakfast, I used a quick excuse to leave. Just remembered something I need to do today. I was already grabbing my purse, itching to leave. As I reached for the door, a tall figure blocked my way. Recalling my nagging hunch, I felt anxious. Is he going to drop the divorce bomb now? But instead, he handed me a glimmering black card, no plans today, go enjoy yourself. I cautiously took it, seeing he had no intention of taking it back, and boldly accepted. A global elite credit card with unlimited access, swipe away. Probably the only person in this town with such a card is Henry. No clue what was up, but since he gave it to me, no reason to say no, right? First thing out the door, I called my bestie. We went on a joyous shopping spree at the biggest mall, then spoiled ourselves with spa treatments. Surprised, she asked, he gave you the card himself? Nodding, I replied, I think he's feeling guilty, trying to peacefully split. Sweeten me up so no drama when it ends, you know? She pondered, doesn't seem like it. My bro isn't one to beat around the bush. Last night, who made the first move? If it were my bro, it's less complicated. But if you... That thought planted deeper anxiety in me. Trying to recall that hazy night, I couldn't. Maybe it was me, maybe him. Seeing my defeated look, she patted my shoulder, don't overthink it. Maybe it's simpler than you think. Hope so. Post-SPA, we decided on snacks. Once outside, familiar figures caught our eye from afar. Henry in a sharp black suit, and beside him a tall, wavy-haired beauty. Seeing such a handsome guy with a beautiful girl drew attention. Watching them, a wave of jealousy crept into my chest. My best friend suddenly exclaimed in surprise, weird, why is Cathy back? Puzzled, I asked, Cathy? You mean the girl who represented the country in that piano competition? My friend nodded and cautiously looked at me, are you okay? I shrugged it off, pretending not to care, go ahead, knowing your enemy is half the battle. Yeah, she was in college with my brother. They always saw each other as rivals. My brother isn't the type to go easy on anyone, and after he beat her, Cathy went abroad out of spite. Confused, I asked, but wasn't Cathy abroad representing the country? My friend waved it off, that was just to handle the rumors. Everyone in their school thought they liked each other. After Cathy left, people joked that my brother's first love was scared away. Listening to my friend, I couldn't help but lower my eyes. So, Henry and Cathy had this rather romantic story. Meanwhile, Henry and I got married purely out of an arranged union. Initially, my parents had set me up with a well-regarded guy from a wealthy family. They praised him for being responsible and family-oriented, but I knew it was all a facade. He was a phony who toyed with girls' feelings. I couldn't accept a guy like him. Then Henry suddenly came along and proposed to my parents for a union, so I went with him. Compared to Henry's story with her, our story is plain and a bit ridiculous. My friend noticed my silence and asked, "Are you upset?" I immediately denied it, of course not. Seeing my expression, she couldn't help but laugh. I got a bit annoyed and insisted, "I'm serious." She kept nodding, "I get it. I get it." Even if I tried to play tough, my feelings didn't lie. Even at home, I couldn't shake off the mood. Henry was already on the sofa when I walked in. He had that usual untouchable vibe, incredibly handsome. As I entered, he smirked slightly, "You're back?" Looking at this sophisticated man, I couldn't help but ask, "Did you go on a date? Is that why you gave me the black card to keep me away?" Now I see why you gave me the card. After I'd been thinking it over, it all clicked. As I went on, his brow furrowed a bit. "Who went on a date?" His voice was calm and steady. He remained unfazed even when confronted. That's the confidence of a wealthy heir. But I'd seen enough, even if he denied it, it meant nothing to me. Suppressing my strange feelings, I tried to appear composed. "It doesn't matter if you did. We agreed not to interfere with each other when we got married." Acting all proud, I said that, his eyes never leaving me as I spoke. Once I'd vented what I needed to, I took a deep breath and planned to head to my room. That's when the doorbell rang. Annoyed as I was, I went to open the door. It was Cathy. Huh, so he's being this bold about sneaking around? I tried to keep my feelings in check, putting on a sour face, ready to head back to my room. But she stopped me first. "Is this the sister-in-law?" Her comment confused me. Do they call the main wife that now? Henry shot her a cold look from the couch. "Why are you here?" Cathy seemed used to his demeanor and casually took something from her bag. "Your perfume." Somehow it ended up in my bag. Hearing that made me scoff. How careless must he be to leave perfume in another girl's bag? Cathy handed the perfume to me. Already irked holding it, I couldn't show it openly and come off petty. I forced a smile, "Thanks." With that, I shut the door. I still maintained that power. I'm the lady of the house here after all. After closing the door, I heard a low chuckle from Henry, genuine and captivating. I turned, a bit annoyed. "What's up?" With mild amusement, he asked, "Are you jealous?" No sooner did he ask than I snapped, "Absolutely not. We agreed to leave each other be." Ours was a marriage of convenience, but he and Cathy had a love story. I got that. Back in my room, just thinking about it annoyed me, and I pummeled my pillow. Seriously? He asked his wife if I'm jealous after she just showed up. Does he think he's a godsend that everyone must adore? What a jerk. I felt nothing for him. Total jerk. Just as I was unleashing on the pillow, there was a gentle knock at the door. Who else but Henry? I paused, calming my voice. "What?" His low voice came through. "There's a last-minute event tonight. Care to join me?" Instantly, I replied, "Sure." Right now, I'm still his official wife, and I have to show some people that without my consent, they have no shot. By 7, the party was alive with chatter and clinking glasses. When I walked in with Henry, we were the center of attention. Everyone loves a beautiful sight, be it stunning men or women. Henry effortlessly mingled with business associates, owning the room with a few words. He didn't even need to try hard to have everyone in the palm of his hand. Standing next to him, looking at his chiseled jawline, I couldn't help but feel a bit dazed. I had to admit, every feature of Henry matched perfectly with my aesthetic taste. Back then, when Henry proposed a marriage alliance to my family, I was honestly thrilled. During high school, we attended the same school, with him being 2 years senior to me. I was on the chubbier side during those years, and in that phase where beauty reigned supreme, I unfortunately became a target for bullies. Those days were the darkest periods of my life. I even dreaded going to school because of the bullying. Just when I thought I was spiraling into a dark place, Henry, the senior, appeared like a light streaming into my life. It happened when I was cornered near the restroom by some bullies demanding my money and labor on their homework. Henry walked in. With a cold glance, he scanned those girls bullying me. Did your parents send you to school to bully your classmates? In high school, Henry was extremely good-looking with a reputation that preceded him. Everyone admired and respected him, even the bullies kept their distance. He didn't need to say much. The girls exchanged glances and backed off. Henry wasn't gentle with them either. If I see you bullying again, this school won't be a place for you. He chased them away and, in my eyes, became the most captivating person in the world. He reached out to help me on my feet, without a trace of mockery in his eyes. At that moment, I felt like we were equals in his eyes. To avoid being bullied, you have to become strong yourself. Once you're strong, no one dares to bully you. His words fueled my whole student life. It's no exaggeration to say that my life took a turn because of Henry. So, when he proposed marriage to my family, despite any underlying motives, we clicked instantly. I found myself staring at Henry's back, lost in thought, when Cathy suddenly appeared in all her glamorous attire. Linda, we met before, remember me? As I looked at her, I frowned slightly. In front of Henry, she called me sister-in-law, but now she just calls me by my name. She smiled charmingly despite my frown and started introducing herself. I didn't properly introduce myself last time. Henry and I were college classmates. Everyone says we're a perfect match. You've heard that, right? Only someone like me is worthy of someone as high status as Henry. Even though he's with you now, in his heart, it's me. Looking at her openly flaunting the drama queen side of herself, I just laughed. I've heard of this type before, someone who smiles to your face but acts differently behind your back. After she finished, I maintained a polite smile, unfazed. I trust my husband. She didn't seem upset by my words. Oh, really? But I heard you had another husband back then. True, I did have another engagement before, but that was nothing set in stone. Just when I was about to speak, a sharp voice broke the calmness of the scene. Linda. Linda, where are you? Come out. It was none other than Nick, the former fiancé Cathy was referring to. Nick's sudden appearance made it clear to me that the person in front of me had a hand in this. Predictably, Cathy had a smug smile on her lips. Nick shouted loudly, attracting everyone's attention. Other guests began whispering, "Isn't that the guy who was engaged to Henry's wife before? They seem so in love, why does she still have contact with her ex?" Nick acted insane, screaming my name and searching frantically. It was beyond embarrassing. But I had no choice but to confront the situation. I faced him, trying to stay calm and polite. "Sir, can I help you?" Nick's eyes were red. "Tell me why you suddenly called off our engagement. What was wrong with me? It's been so long since our broken engagement, and now he throws a fit? Plus, I found out he used to bully me in school. How could I be with someone who bullied me? Moreover, his character isn't exactly admirable." "Nick, calm down. What's done is done. We weren't meant to be," I said, frowning. But my words only made him angrier. "It wasn't meant to be? Or you're just drawn to money and power? You think Henry's family is more powerful, and so you left. Or were you involved with him before the breakup? Our engagement was arranged first. If you suddenly broke it off, something definitely happened. Say it, let everyone hear. He yelled, eyes bloodshot. I was about to tear into him verbally when a strong hand reached through the crowd, taking mine firmly. A faint electric thrill ran through me, sending my heart racing. It was Henry. Slightly tipsy from hobnobbing with business associates, he still couldn't hide his noble aura. The moment he appeared, it seemed like he effortlessly tamed the chaos around. Got business with my wife? He asked. Just a simple question, but so powerful that Nick, who was losing it, seemed to snap out of it a bit. Honestly, comparing the two of us, it's obvious who's better. My wife chose me. Got a problem with that? Or maybe you should ask everyone here who they'd pick. Plus, I'm more aware of my wife's character than anyone. If you want to slander, I wouldn't mind taking legal action. Those breezy comments plunged the scene into silence. The security at the party finally had a good reason to act. In his days, Nick was dragged away for disturbing peace. Seeing how he protected me, my mind couldn't help but drift. This wasn't the first time, and my heart was racing uncontrollably. I snuck a glance at the man beside me, silently swallowing, feeling like I was completely falling for him. All along the way, I was giving myself a pep talk, trying to explain things. But he stayed silent, making the air feel like ice. By the time we got home, I finally opened my mouth, wanting to explain what Nick said. Before I could finish, a pair of strong hands held my waist. The next moment, a flood of kisses came crashing down. Only when I was breathless and weak in the knees did he finally let me go, reluctantly. His voice went husky. Didn't they say I wasn't up to it? Now you're clear-headed. Let's see what I've got. Before I could even process what he meant, he pulled me closer again with a firm grip. Then a series of rapid kisses followed, totally different from before, more aggressive. My mind was spinning, my whole body tingling. The room quickly filled with gasping breaths, then just my soft pleas. By the time it ended, it was already the middle of the night. Exhausted, I lay on Henry's chest, too tired to even lift a finger. In my sleepy state, I heard his deep voice, I really don't care about you and him because I trust you. Hearing this, a smile twitched my lips, and the flutter in my heart peaked. The next day, I groggily opened my eyes to find his side of the bed empty. After freshening up and heading downstairs, I found a delicious breakfast already set, with Henry sitting at the table, smiling at me. Come eat, he said. A simple invitation filled my heart with warmth. I nodded, taking a seat across from him, and couldn't help but dig into the delicious meal. Each of his movements was so elegant, almost regal, quite the visual treat. I was entirely entranced. My husband is unbelievably handsome. He looked at me with a pampering smile. Wipe your drool. Instinctively, I wiped my mouth. Nothing was there. Realizing I'd been played, I got all flustered and opened my mouth, ready to bite him. He didn't even try to dodge, but then the doorbell rang at an inconvenient time. I huffed, "Lucky you," and ran to open the door to find it was Cathy again. Seeing her, I frowned instinctively. Once again, Cathy wore a pitiful expression, bypassing me to get to Henry. Henry, what happened at the party yesterday had nothing to do with me. I was just a bystander, and I didn't know why Nick suddenly showed up there. Regardless of what Linda told you, I deserve a chance to explain myself. Before I could say anything, she started talking non-stop. I couldn't help but give a cold laugh. Was she really playing the victim? Henry cast a chilly glance her way, not even bothering to get up. Lazy, he cleared the table while saying, "Don't come here anymore." That remark left Cathy standing there in disbelief, wanting to justify herself. But before she could, he cut her off. "I know exactly what kind of person you are." Cathy fell silent. After Henry took the dishes to the kitchen, she glared at me. "Just wait, I'll tell Henry's mom everything." I found it amusing she planned to tattletale to my mother-in-law and didn't care much. I chuckled, "Be my guest." My reaction only fueled her anger. Cathy left with a dark expression, and seeing her like that put me in a great mood. After that night's party, Nick had been texting and calling me endlessly, asking why I broke off the engagement. When we first refused the marriage, Nick's side didn't react much. No clue what Cathy told him, but now he's haunting me. After another one of his calls, I picked up, took a breath, and let loose. Nick, I know I'm quite the catch, but sadly, I'm just not into you. It's decided. If blaming me helps you, go ahead. He paused, clearly not expecting such bluntness. After that, I planned to hang up, but Henry took the phone first. He calmly spoke into the phone. If you make another call or send another message to harass my wife, there won't be a Nick business tomorrow. After saying this, he hung up the phone immediately. With Henry stepping in, Nick wouldn't dare to act up anymore. Looking at the man in front of me who unconditionally protects me, a warm feeling washed over me. I suddenly wanted to ask him about our relationship. So I did. I asked him, what are we? I held my breath, worried that I might hear a disappointing answer from him. He looked steadily at me and said, we're husband and wife, so no matter what, you have to trust that I'll protect you. The last bit of anxiety in my heart vanished. I nodded and couldn't help but relax, falling into his arms. I felt his strong and steady heartbeat, and warmth filled my heart. In the morning, I was woken up by the sound of a doorbell ringing urgently. Groggy, I rubbed my sleepy eyes and opened the door. I saw Cathy and a well-dressed middle-aged woman. And I immediately recognized her as my mother-in-law, Henry's mother. Actually, I wasn't very familiar with my mother-in-law. After Henry and I got married, we lived separately, and he rarely let me handle any troublesome mother-in-law stuff. I always thought keeping a bit of distance was the best way for us to get along. But I'd heard from my best friend that my mother-in-law was pretty nice. Supposedly, she was very easy to get along with. Before I could take a good look at her, Cathy arrogantly spoke up, Auntie, look at her, sleeping so late. Henry's been supporting her all these years like she's some sort of goddess. Seeing Cathy so twisted with jealousy, I remained calm. Cathy was half right. Outwardly, I seemed like I was being supported by Henry, but I actually had my own small business. All these years, I've been drawing comics at home, so I handle my own basic expenses and have put away my own little savings. While it looked like Henry was supporting me, I was also running a business of my own. Plus, the money he gave me, I donated all of it under our names. Before I could respond, my mother-in-law took a step forward and excitedly grabbed my hand. I finally get to meet you. What was going on? Not only was Cathy stunned, but I was too. My mother-in-law led me to the sofa. Henry didn't want me to come too soon in case I scared you, but now I finally get to meet you, I'm so happy. I told Henry the first wouldn't overreact, but he doesn't listen. Although our families are joined, we never had a wedding, and that's something I've always regretted. Seeing you today, you're even more charming than I imagined. Why not take this opportunity to plan a wedding? Don't worry, even though I'm middle-aged, I'm pretty open-minded. I won't restrict you. As for the wedding, you young folks should plan it, no matter the cost. Oh, and about the dowry, is 50 million okay? While my mother-in-law was talking, I was still stunned, and Cathy was even more shocked. She came here with plans to cause trouble, but instead, she ended up helping plan my wedding. While I was ecstatic, she was fuming. After my mother-in-law's proposal, she glanced at Cathy, who wasn't leaving. Her expression turned serious. Cathy, we have family matters to discuss. If you have nothing else, you should leave. Cathy was taken aback. Auntie? My mother-in-law's aura was powerful. Was I not clear enough? Despite not wanting to leave, Cathy had no choice but to get up and go. Once Cathy was gone, my mother-in-law took my hand and explained that Cathy was the daughter of family friends and had always liked Henry, but he didn't like her at all. In the past, when marriage was suggested between our families, Henry outright refused. While talking, she pulled an album from her bag and handed it to me. Look at this, and you'll understand. I curiously opened the album to find photos of a little girl and boy. The little girl was me. Why did my mother-in-law have pictures of me as a child? In the photos, I looked genuinely happy, not at all forced to pose. Seeing my puzzled look, my mother-in-law smiled. The boy in the photos is Henry, and the girl is you. Me? Yes, Henry secretly took these photos when you were kids. We visited your family before, and he had a crush on you at first sight, taking lots of your pictures which he's kept all this time. I was shocked. Just then, Henry came in, rushing in and immediately taking my hand. Linda, I heard Cathy brought my mom over. Are you okay? I held my lips tight, which made him even more anxious. Tell me, what did they do to you? I looked at his face. Do you have anything to confess? Confess? At that moment, his usual calm demeanor showed signs of panic. Linda, no matter what happens, know that you're always in my heart. Watching him nervously trying to explain, I couldn't hold back my laughter. I playfully lifted my chin. I heard you've been secretly into me for a long time. Care to explain? His expression relaxed, and his usually pale, composed face blushed. You know everything? He blushed as he explained to me, actually, ever since you were a kid, I've secretly liked you. I was worried you wouldn't feel the same, and if I confessed, we'd lose even the last bit of connection we have. So, I never said anything. Seeing him awkwardly confess, I was totally in love with his looks, in love with everything about him. Then why haven't you touched me since we got married? He still seemed a bit hesitant, like he was afraid of making me mad. Well, it was an arranged marriage. I wanted to give you time to adjust. I worried that if I moved too fast, I'd scare you. At that, I couldn't help but roll my eyes. But I've dropped so many hints before and you didn't do anything. He looked puzzled. Hints? I was speechless. So, this handsome, aloof rich family heir is really a blockhead. But that's okay. Since hinting didn't work, I'll just be more direct from now on.